Let's go on this Thursday night. The Lady Vols moved to 2-0 on the season, a 90-50 victory over UT Martin tonight. Thanks for joining me tonight. Frank Rock, House of Sports Channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Let's get in this thing. Leave me some comments. Leave me some feedback tonight. Let me what you think about the performance from the Lady Vols tonight. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of going to – I missed a lot of it tonight. Caught the last a little bit over a quarter. Kept up with it a long way, obviously. But, 2-0, that's a big thing with this Lady Vols team. Kim Caldwell and staff, she said the other night, there's going to be moments it's going to be a little rough right now. But in terms of what we're doing, they're on the right path. I love, again, when I look at the statistics on it with basketball, I love look at the analytical statistics. Obviously, there's the points, rebounds, assists, et cetera, et cetera. I like the plus minus. It shows me a lot of what's going on when specific players are on the court and stuff. While we're getting into that, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you share it out. If you have not already, hit that subscription to the channel as well. If you want to check out those memberships, those super chats, super thanks along the way as well. We'll go into this thing for 30 minutes. The goal is we hit $25. We'll go more than 30 minutes tonight. We'll see how it goes. We made zero the other night, so we went a little less than 30 minutes. That's the same path tonight. Leave me a comment. Leave me what you think tonight. Got about 16 of you in here tonight. A little late getting it set up. But, tonight, here's one thing I'm liking with Kim Caldwell and what she's doing. There's not a set starting five. You don't know who's going to start from one game to the next. The other night, it was a whole different lineup. Tonight, Jewel Spears, Sarah Puckett, Kanaya Boyd, Z. Spearman, Talasia Cooper started. When they played, let's see, I can't even remember off the top of my head who it was started the other night. It wasn't, I know Samara Spencer started. Cooper started. Spearman did not. Spearman came off the bench. Not Kanaya Boyd come off the bench. I'm thinking Hollingshed started. Some guys remind me of that in the chat here as well. Spears started. So with Kim Caldwell, there's really not a set rhyme or reason. There might be a rhyme or reason. There's not a set lineup though in terms of what she's doing. So it could be, I'm trying to mess with that's not too bad there. We'll go with it. So, but in terms of she starts some kind of different than the next, it may be, you're the ones who did something in one game, they start the next. It almost seems like it's a reward for performance from game to game. And the thing of it is with this Lady Vols team, they go over 10 deep. And it's not just depth to have warm bodies. It's actually quality depth that they put in. So tonight, looking at it, so the plus minus statistics on the night, again, that's something I look at on the night. Ruby Whitehorn, 22 minutes. Ruby Whitehorn had 18 points, 14 rebounds. This is 2 out of 3 games at Ruby Whitehorn. Of course, she is a transfer from Clemson. She's kind of been the main player, and I include the Carson Newman game in that as well. So Ruby Whitehorn, big-time game for her tonight. She was plus minus plus 27 on the night. Again, they played 13 people tonight. Hollingshed, let's see. In terms of minutes, Destiny Wells played 2 minutes. Hollingshed played 9 minutes. Iredale played 9 minutes. Strickland played 8. Other than that, though, Alyssa Latham, 13. The rest of them, you had Jewel Spear, 22. Sarah Puckett, 24. Boyd, Spearman, 17 minutes each. Cooper, 16. Whitehorn, 22. Spencer, 20 minutes. Tess Darby, 21. Of course, Alyssa Latham, 13. So Kim Caldwell and her staff, they're playing a lot of players, quite a few minutes here as well. It's a good mix. I think it'll be a different test next week against Middle Tennessee. I've talked about that before in terms of the preseason rankings. Lady Vols were not ranked, but in terms of their visit or their votes, Middle Tennessee was right with them. So it could be an interesting game next week in terms of who they get, how it goes. But Jewel Spear was plus minus 18 tonight. She ended up 13 points, 3 boards. A couple things that stood out to me tonight. Assists, they had 18 assists, turnovers 15. That was 20 and 20 on Tuesday night. So they improved in that category. They are to the plus with it instead of evening out. Blocks tonight, they had 3 blocks. Their steals tonight, 18 steals. Down a little bit. Obviously, they set the school record the other night with 27. 18 steals, though, that's still pretty dang good. That's some efficient defense that they're playing with. Rebounds on the night. Good Lord. The Lady Vols had 54 rebounds tonight. UT Martin, on the other hand, as I pull that up, had 28. That is a huge rebounding difference on the night. And 33 offensive rebounds, 21 defensive, 54 total, 18 assists, 15 turnovers, 3 blocks, 18 steals. That's a pretty damn good night right there, to be honest with you. Free throw percentage, 15 out of 23, 65%. 3-point. That is one, I think, if you pick something to nitpick tonight, 9 out of 39, 23%. You get into playing some bigger teams at that point, you're going to need better than that for sure. But, field goal percentage on the night was 39%. You can live with that, by the way. Their 3-point percentage, it kind of dropped as the game went along. So we'll see how they go on that. And again, Kim Caldwell stated basically it's going to be a work in progress. It's going to be a work in progress. It's going to be, where do they go? How do they get better with that along the way? Green Wave, what's up, man? UT Martin got blowed up. Sure. 18 is good. All right. Yeah, 18 is good. 18 assists, 15 turnovers. Again, 20 to 20 on Tuesday night. So they are to the plus. 18 steals is, 18 steals is very good. The thing with it is they set the bar so high that it's now like, well, they just had 18 tonight. No, that's still very good. That is very good. They've just set the bar so high against Carson Newman and then against Sanford the other night that they did it. Moonshine in the house. What is up, Moonshine? What's up with you? Good to have you in here tonight. Thanks for tuning in with me. Leading scores tonight, of course, I'll talk about Ruby Whitehorn, 18 points, 14 rebounds. I'm telling you, man, some of these transfers that they got, that's like Tuesday night. Z Spearman went for 25 points. Tonight she went for 4 points. It's going to be somebody different every night. But the thing with Z Spearman is she had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. She did have 5 fouls, 2 turnovers, 1 block in 17 minutes. But she was plus minus. She was plus 24. The team was plus 24 with her. With her on the court. All right, dude. I don't know if you think you're being flattering. I'm just going to cut to the chase on this. It's not real funny. All right. It's stupid. So just, if you don't like it, you can go, man. If you're coming in here, I don't know you other than here. If it's somebody I know real well, you can come in and make jokes with me or whatever. So other than that, you can move along if you don't like it, man. Bob Kessling. Bob Kessling hung it up. Says he's hanging it up at the end of the season. So we'll see. We'll see where they go with that one. Do they go Mike Keith? Do they go John Wilkerson? Do they go somewhere else? That'll be interesting to see. Jordan Whitfield, what's up, man? No, I think that's putting a lot out there for the Lady Vols to win the SEC this year, especially with South Carolina favored to win it. You got Texas, LSU, and those teams. But I do think they'll be very competitive in the conference as well. Let's see. Spear getting back 13 points, 3 boards. She was plus minus 18. Sarah Puckett, 11 points tonight. The thing with Spear and Puckett, man, they're still chucking it. 3 out of 9, 1 out of 8. 3 rebounds, 4 assists for Puckett tonight, plus minus 15. Boyd got her first start tonight, 6 points, 2 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 17 plus minus. Spearman plus 24. Talasia Cooper tonight, only 6 points, but she had 4 rebounds, 3 assists. She did have 3 turnovers. She evened out on that one, 2 steals, 16 minutes plus minus 11. Ruby Whitehorn, again, a great effort from her. 18 points, 8 out of 14, 2 out of 2. She had 14 rebounds, 8 offensive, 6 defensive, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, plus minus 27. Great job by her tonight. I can answer it for you, Green Wave. Somebody trying to here's my forehead for you, Matt. There you go. There, that's up and close right for you. So you make your little jokes on it. No, that's not my handle. If it was, it would be on here, dude. So again, what we can have fun on here all you want. You want to try to make fun, I have a problem with that one. All right. So okay, bro. So don't come on and make jokes at me on here while I'm trying to do a show. Thank you. I'm moving on with it. Let's get back to it. Samara Spencer, 10 points tonight, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. She had 2 turnovers. Good to see she was back in the lineup again tonight after she hobbled off with the injury on Tuesday night. Destiny Wells had 2 minutes. She was plus minus 2. She didn't even have any stats. So during that time, they did score a couple points. Strickland, 3 points. Favor Iadale, 4 points, plus minus 6. Tess Darby, plus minus 19 in her 9 minutes. And then Alyssa Latham, 6 points, 13 minutes, plus minus 12. She had 4 rebounds during that time. So very efficient during that time. Lady Vols are doing their thing right now. They are, final score is 90-50. 90-50. Let me see if I can fix this camera here as well. But 90-50, a good game. And I think you're going to look at these games as well as to where the Lady Vols right now maybe not hitting on all cylinders. But again, talking about Kim Caldwell stated, we're probably not going to hit on all cylinders right now. There's going to be getting used to it along the way. But I think you got to be pretty happy with what we've seen, and we've got to be pretty happy that, that pace that Kim Caldwell has talked about, they are living up to that right now. The pace is very good. They're creating steals. I mean, again, they only had 18 tonight. Well, I say only 18. That's because they've set the bar so high that 18 seems like not a whole lot with them. But I'm going to mess. I don't know why it's camera here. I'm going to mess with this just a minute, guys. So stick with me here a minute while it's doing that. All right, I'm going to switch back here. Hopefully I can get the camera fixed here along the way. Again, I appreciate you guys' patience on this. Having a little bit of technical difficulties here right now. All right, there we go. There we go. Quite a bit clearer now. So sorry about that. A little technical difficulty. Looking at the Lady Vols schedule moving forward, I think there's still Tuesday night could be a test against Middle Tennessee just based on the votes that have gone in. They had about the same amount of preseason top 25. You got UT Martin tonight, Middle Tennessee Tuesday night, 6:30. Liberty will be not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday at noon. Western Carolina 10 days after that. So they have that 10-day layoff. Florida State will be the first. Middle Tennessee, I'm interested to see that one. After that, Florida State seems to be the big test at that point. That's going to be the first big test. And then you're getting into Iowa, which Iowa, we know they went to the national championship last year. Yeah, they don't have Caitlin Clark now, but they still have some players. North Carolina Central, Memphis, Richmond, Tulsa, Winthrop. That ends non-conference play prior to getting into conference, and then they do have UConn in February as well. So, yes, yeah, absolutely, Greg. Good. I'm trying to think where, because that was somebody mentioned with the Lady Vols briefly and then went to Iowa. Was it UConn or where it was? Correct me on that one because I can't remember it off the top of my head here as well. Where do I see Kim Caldwell in 5 years? Too early to tell right now. They got some bad news yesterday as Grace Knox, who was in town a few weeks back, did commit to LSU. So right now, I mean, you got to think they're still trailing South Carolina, LSU, Texas. I mean, USC is rolling right now. No, USC's not in the SEC, but they're getting some of the top transfers and some of the top players as well. 5 years, I can't forecast 5 years. I've got to see 1 year before I go 5, to be honest with you on it. They're strong. They're winning big, which is good to see right now. Yeah, Florida State is, yeah, we're. Hey, no worries, man. I've been a little, no worries. Thank you, Matt. I know you've been reliable on here as well, and appreciate you sharing it. No problems as well. There's the one you saw, the 4, it's kind of pissed me off a little bit lately because I've seen it. I saw it pop up on another channel. I don't care. People make fun of me all they want, or I do still have a little bit of hair on my head. It's just, it's not always a real flattering thing, which I take constructive criticism. There's stuff that gets on my nerves with. No problem. It's all good along the way. Definitely appreciate your support along the way. Florida State, again, that'll be the first big test on it along the way. Appreciate that, Greenway. That's the thing with this channel. I'm trying to cover everything. It's not easy, man. I'm not going to sit here and lie about trying to get in men's basketball, football, so many people covering it. It's hard to really stand out from it without Lucy Olson. That's it. Yep, that is absolutely it. Thank you. That is the name. That's the one. Went to Iowa. So, yeah, I mean, Iowa, they're proven they can do some pretty good things with their program. I mean, Caitlin Clark is really a big change right now. Probably not getting the credit she deserves just in women's basketball in general. But there's definitely some change with her for sure. Let me look here just a minute. I wanted to look at a couple things with them. Now, something you got to keep in mind with the SEC schedule is it is a brutal conference. It's pretty much everything SEC. Football, baseball is even better than football. Now, SEC in men's basketball is starting to become one of the better conferences. I wouldn't say it's the best yet. It has a ways to go. But women's basketball, I mean, right now, it's with South Carolina and LSU, they've kind of gone to the forefront. I mean, it's really hard to make an argument that the women's basketball game, especially the SEC, is not the best right now. We're about 20 minutes in. I'm going about 10 more minutes. Like I said, I'm setting a goal each night. We hit $25. We'll go longer. We'll talk whatever you want to if we get that. If not, we'll end it here in about 10 minutes. But where I seen Kim I mean, if I look at Kim Caldwell's schedule for the year, I'm looking at non-conference. Florida State, Iowa, those games. Florida State's in Knoxville. I got to think Tennessee gets that one. Iowa, in Brooklyn, New York, neutral site game will be very interesting. It'll be a good task for them. Now you get into SEC play. Oklahoma's ranked, but they come to Knoxville. LSU, they play home and home with LSU. They get them first in Knoxville. They've got Arkansas at Arkansas, Mississippi State at home, Vanderbilt at Nashville, Texas in Texas, South Carolina in Knoxville, January 27th. And, man, if you're Lady Vols, can you get them this year? You were the one program that should have had South Carolina beat last year, and it was the absolute worst coaching move I've ever seen in my life in that game. And it was funny. I was down the hill from Bon Secours Arena in Greenville, literally not even a mile from it, watching the game, because there was Tennessee, Kentucky. There was Lady Vols, South Carolina. We were watching both. The Vols had just got beat by Kentucky. Looked like the Lady Vols were going to beat South Carolina. We were in with a lot of South Carolina fans. And then absolute coaching malfunction to the core. It was awful. That's the literal worst end-of-game coaching that I've ever seen in my life. And I think that closed the book on Kelly Harper. I don't give a crap who it is. If they've never shot a three-pointer in their life, if you're playing the number one team in the nation, you never, ever leave a single person wide open like they did on that. That defense was horrific. I can assure you this year, if that situation would present itself again with Kim Caldwell as the coach, the out-of-bounds person will not be left unguarded, and I can assure you there will not be somebody at the top of the key left unguarded. There's a reason Kelly Harper doesn't have a job on it, and that was a pretty good indication of it right there. What this staff's doing, I don't know if you guys have seen some of it, what Kim Caldwell requires of this team in practice. It's intense. It is very intense in terms of their running. I saw something where she had them run like 2.5 to 3 miles. If they didn't hit, really I'm trying to look at it here, their goal, and maybe some of you can correct me on that. If they didn't hit their goal, she made them do it again. There was something about I think it was Jordan Moore. He does stuff for Fox Sports Knoxville. If you haven't followed him on Twitter, he's a good one to follow. Sorry, Matt. That's totally fine, man. Totally fine. But some of the stuff that they've done on it, let me address this again, man. So you come on here and make fun of me, and then I get upset about it, and then you get your feelings hurt on it. If you can't dish it out, all right? If you can't take it, don't dish it out. So thanks for your support, your super chats along the way. But again, if you're going to try to be funny about it, at least take it back. All right, so back to this here. It's something about they have like a weight on the sidelines. If they don't box out, then Kim Caldwell makes them push it across the court. I know I've seen it about the board where they keep tally of their mistakes. There is, along the way, it's just, she is intense. There's no jokes about it. These ladies earn their time. They're earning what they're doing along the way. She's here to win. She means business. She's brought in associate head coaches from Alabama, from Mississippi State. She's brought in other coaches along the way. It's an intense program. She's going to demand a lot. She's going to expect a lot out of these ladies on the team. And I think one of the things of it is, if they know the expectation ahead of time, I can assure you the Paldo twins who've committed, they know the expectation coming in. They're down supporting it. I've seen their dad on Twitter. He's retweeting. He's out recruiting, trying to get these ladies in the fold too. Good things are happening with the Lady Vols. With the Lady Vols program, the expectation should always be to be the best. I don't think it's been there. I'm not saying these coaches have not wanted to be the best, but I just feel like that. I feel that bar got lowered over the years. I really do. What's up, Corey Hambright? Good to see you in here. Got to get some recruits. Absolutely. The Paldo twins is a great start. It did hurt that Grace Knox went to LSU, but her coming from California, I think they did a great job recruiting her. They were down to the final three. But, I mean, right now, you're competing. The fact that they're competing with the top programs on here, that says a lot to me. Now, you know, like you said, you got to start closing. And, you know, the thing about it is Pearl, that's a good one. Pearl is down to what, the final three. Lady Vols are in it. So you got to think they have a good shot there. There's Pearl, there's Civil. That's a couple good ones. There's Lauren Hurst. I mean, I think based on that, I don't know how realistic Lauren Hurst is that she can play volleyball and basketball. But here's the thing. I'm speculating. I can assure you that the Lady Vols, Clemson, and these programs that they have, I would guarantee you that's been discussed, how realistic it is or whatnot. I mean, if there's a program offering Lauren Hurst because she's elite in volleyball, she's elite in women's basketball as well. If a program's offering that, I mean, if one good program's offering it, if you're the Lady Vols, you're going to have to offer that as well. I mean, I think that's just the fact of it. But with those seasons interacting, I don't know how realistic it is to play both. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe, you know, that's part of the progression as well, because I think you want to encourage these ladies to play what they're comfortable and what they're good at. But Pearl would be big. Pearl would be a big one. I think they made a good impression on her based on the feedback that I had seen on it. Civil, it seems like they're in deep on that one. Lauren Hurst, you get the Paldo twins, that's 5 in the fold. You're losing quite a few to graduation. It's a good. I don't know. I expect this team to do pretty well this year. It's a veteran team. Yes, I know they brought in 5 transfers, but they all came from Power 5 schools. They all contributed at Power 5 schools. Not saying they were all the superstars of their teams, but they were all very much contributors at that point. So I expect this team's going to do pretty well. And again, Kim Caldwell and her staff, they're going to expect a lot out of this team. I'm excited to see how they do against Middle Tennessee on Tuesday, because like I said, just based on their list, based on the votes coming in, I think that could be a pretty good ball game, possibly. Should be exciting to see. I'm excited to see this team play some good competition to see how they do. I know it was said they scrimmaged North Carolina here. What was it? Was it last week? And maybe some of you that have seen that can go on that a little bit more. But based on what I'd seen, they scrimmaged North Carolina and they smoked them. Scored, was it 90-some points? So I don't know if they played regular game. I don't know what any of that was. So, you know, any of you that maybe have seen or read a little bit more than I have on that, please feel free to update me on that as well. But we're right at about 30 minutes. I'm going to wrap up here in just a minute. Another good night for the Lady Vols, 90-50. They're 2-0 on the season. I think you got to like what you're seeing out of Kim Caldwell, out of her team, out of this staff, out of what they're doing. They're playing an exciting brand of basketball. They're not afraid to shoot the basketball. They're not afraid to shoot the threes. They're playing stellar defense. The steals are crazy, what they're doing. The stats are insane. Really, you know, based on what I've seen is that the fan base is really behind this team, really behind this staff. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I appreciate your support. You know, if you get upset about things, guys, here's the one thing. I joke around on things. There's things I draw a line at. If you try to make personal stuff, I don't like it. I just don't, and I don't have to. And maybe that's part of growing thicker skin. Maybe that's part of ignoring things along the way. as well. But here's one thing to keep in mind. Since I've started this channel, I've had nothing but personal things said about me through social media by a specific outfit. And I normally figure all those comments come from that. It was a place I was associated with, not to go down that road, but it is a little touchy and it does piss me off a little bit along the way, especially when you help people build a channel and they don't appreciate it. And especially when you get people that evidently worship stuff and then come over here trying to throw pot shots. It does get a little old at times. I've ignored a lot. First times I draw a line, I get tired of it. So, thank you for support. Sorry for the rant, but I am still a human being at the same time. And all I want to do is talk UT sports. That's all I'm here for. I mean, there's people who do this, get a lot more criticism than I do, handle it a lot better than I do along the way, for sure. You guys rule. Thank you for your support. Stay tuned in on here. Basketball, women's basketball, baseball. If you're actually, let me say this. If you're going to game 2 of the Orange and White series at Smoky Stadium tomorrow night, be looking for old Frank. Frank's going to be in attendance. I'm looking forward to going down and watching that. If I had my preference, all things being equal, I'm a baseball guy. Love baseball. I'd have predominantly a baseball channel. So I do cover baseball, try to be as thorough as any. Not saying others don't cover it well or what have you. But as far as the YouTube channels, you're not going to find a more thorough. I'm not comparing myself to these pay outlets, Fox Sports, Knoxville, none of that. They're on a whole other level. But as far as this independent, I'll go against anybody with baseball for sure on that. Basketball, we're going there. Thank you for the support. I hope a lot of you guys that were with me last year, I hope you'll stick along the way. And, the nights where there's a rant or a little aggravation, I hope you'll stick with me as well on that one also. So, but thank you guys for tuning in. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Have a great evening. Last but most certainly not least, go Vols and go Lady Vols.